Hello, Year 6, and welcome to our maths lesson today. I think you're going to really enjoy this, maybe a little bit of light relief after the demands of yesterday's lesson and simplifying fractions. Remember to write the learning objective and your date. The learning objective today is improper fractions to mixed numbers. So let's get ready and do a review. Pause the video and have a look at the review questions, work them out, make a note of your reasoning. So let's see how you got on and discuss any key points. What fraction of the bar is shaded blue? 3/5. So we've got 3 parts shaded out of 5 parts. Eight eighths. Why might that be 8/8? And how else could you represent that? Correct. It's divided into 8 parts, 8 equal parts, and all 8 are shaded. How many parts are yellow? They don't quite look yellow, they're the shaded parts. 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's explore today, looking at a number line, and this number line here, we're just making a jump plus a half. So we've got 0 here, a half. So already I know this midpoint should be 1. Let's have a look. Half, another half, 1. So 2 halves, another half, 3 halves, 1 1/2. So what comes next? How many halves? 4 halves. We wouldn't say 4 halves though. Two wholes. So we have these 2 halves equivalent to a whole, another half, 3 halves, 1 1/2, 4 halves equivalent to 2 wholes. So this is an improper fraction. An improper fraction is where the numerator, everything, which is the numerator, yep, it's this one, is greater than the denominator. Don't know why, but I always think D for down. So the denominator is at the bottom there. You might find it helpful as well. So there's an equivalent. We've got the equivalent sign here, equals. So if we had 3 halves, 1, 2, 3, this is now a whole, and this is the half. That's called a mixed number. It's a number with a whole, so this number here, and a fraction, in this case a half. How do the representations show mixed numbers and improper fractions? So have a think, pause the video. So what do you notice? So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sixths. So this is called the improper fraction, that's right. And this is called the, it's correct, the mixed number. So we've got a whole number here and a fraction here. 2.5. There's a whole, there's a whole, and hopefully you can see only half of that one is filled up. So how many halves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 halves. So convert the improper fraction to a mixed number. So we've got 7 thirds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's the 7. Thirds, because each one is divided into 3 equal parts. What does this represent? What does this represent? What does this represent? Have a think. So that's 2 wholes. And over here we have 1 part shaded out of 3 equal parts. So a third. So the mixed number is 2 1/3. So convert the improper fraction to a mixed number. Have a think. Just a little hint. So have a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that going to help us? 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Is that going to help us? How many holes? 1, 2, 3. Is this a hole? Five, 6. This one isn't shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 6. 3 5/6. How did you do? Remember on the video you can go back, rewind, watch the sections again. Make notes. That can be really helpful. But if you are ready, let's do a checkpoint question. Read the question, write it out, answer it, and show your workings out and reasoning. How do you think you did? Do you think, from your mathematical knowledge so far, that 27 thirds is equivalent to 2 7/3? If it isn't, what is it equivalent to? You haven't written that. Do that now before moving on. So it was false. 27 thirds will make 9 holes. Go back and have another look if you need to. Pause the video, jot it down, work it out, work backwards. You now know the answer. Do everything you can to help yourself. If you want a little bit more practice, step 1, have a go at the questions 1 and 2 on the worksheet. The worksheet and the marking station sent separately on Dojo. If you are ready to move on, let's have a look. So we've got 32 sevenths. We'll want to convert that to a mixed number. Have a think. Write down 32 sevenths equals, what's the equivalent? Okay. So how many sevens are there in 32? 4. So that's fine. But what's here? What do we do with the remainder? It's 4 sevenths. Okay. So we've got here 1/4 means 1 part out of 4 equal parts. So 32 sevenths means 32 equal parts are shaded. So where does the 7 come from? There we go, looking at the strip. 7, 7, 7, 7. How many is here? How did you do following that? Jot it down, have a look again, pause the video, rewind it if you need to. If you've tried step 1 and you've done really well and now you're moving on, you can always pause the video, have a short break, come back to it. So convert the improper fractions to mixed numbers. Pause the video, have a think, write them in your book, show your workings out. How did you do? Find the value of the star. As the star, 25 watt equals 8. There we go, got the rectangle. Have a think. Write it out. Visual representation for you here. If you think you're now feeling confident, go on to step 2, which are the other questions on the worksheet. Remember, the worksheet is on Dojo and the answer sheet's on Dojo. So what you want to do, if you did step 1, make sure you mark step 1, make sure you're confident before you move on. If you're not, then what's available to you is rewinding the video, pausing it, watching it, figuring it out. When you do step 2, make sure that you use the marking station. So look at the answers, check if you've got anything wrong. Once you've seen the answer, can you work backwards? Can you figure it out for yourself? Are you ready for some extended thinking, including a rewind to simplifying fractions? If you are, let's have a look now. This is the only place these questions are printed, and therefore you'll want to pause the video. If you are printing, you're very welcome. I do understand not everyone has a printer. I'll leave that on screen a moment. And another extension. So this one is following the work from today. Okay, I hope you feel confident. I know a few times I said, you know, pause, write it down, reflect on it, rewind the video, you can take a break, come back to it. I really understand that some of you, when you're getting a little bit stuck in difficulty, you're missing the classroom and the interaction with the other children and myself and Mrs. Robinson. But if you follow the video through, you follow the explanations, you can get there. I'm available on Dojo as well. And some of you hopefully are making connections so that you can support one another. Take care.